So yesterday we went for hospital tours at Thomson Medical and Mount Alvernia. And Thomson Medical really stood out to us. There were a lot of offers, a lot of freebies.
Yes. It's their 45th year anniversary.
Yeah, and Mount Alvernia didn't seem very open. Like the place looked really clean and posh, but that was about it.
Also felt a little too Christian for me. I mean,
Catholic.
Okay, a little too Catholic for me, which is not an issue for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But neither of us are very religious, so yeah, and it just felt like the people there were a little more uptight than Thomson. Like Thomson Medical felt a bit more accommodative, which for me is important. Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that stood out for me was apart from the no doulas at Mount Alvernia, they also, if you don't get the room you highly requested or you wanted, then like if they run out of rooms, you don't get a free upgrade. You have to pay for the more expensive room.
Huh?
Yeah. If they put you in a more expensive room, you pay for it, and then if they downgrade you, you don't really pay less. They will just move you back up to the room after that, and then you still have to pay the normal rate of that room. So that was not nice. Now we're on a flight on our Babymoon. On our Babymoon. So we have been in Boracay for about a week now. There's 2.5 more days to our Babymoon, and yesterday I got food poisoning from who knows what. I was avoiding salads in the first trimester, but I got a little bolder in the second trimester and I started eating salads again. And then I forgot that salads are pretty much safe in Singapore, but might not be so safe in other countries. So it could have been the salad that I ate for breakfast, but it's also because there's no other form of vegetables apart from a salad at the breakfast buffet in this resort. So can you imagine getting food poisoning from the resort's food? So I felt really nauseous yesterday, and I thought, what a weird time to get morning sickness again. I was nauseous and I was feeling really cold. The breeze was just nice. It's usually a bit on the chillier side compared to what I like. It's perfect for Amit. But yesterday it was seriously cold in the gym and just feeling the outside breeze. And when I came back, I couldn't warm myself up in the shower, even though I was kind of blasting water that was quite hot, not on my belly or anything. Then I covered myself in blankets, and then I tried to eat. It was really hard to eat. I was nauseous. I didn't want to eat, but I knew I had to eat because I hadn't had enough food for the day. So mid-eating, I was just holding the airplane barf bag because I brought it, and thank goodness I had it, because otherwise this whole bed will be full of puke right now. Then I ran to the toilet to continue puking, and it was the same projectile vomit as what happened in week 6. Not as stinky. It wasn't as stinky as the previous time, but still it made me scared to eat things because I don't know what caused it. It could have been the fruits, the watermelon, the pineapple, could have been the salad, could have been an undercooked egg again, but I've been eating the scrambled eggs every day, so I'm not sure. And I also had another salad for dinner because that is really the only thing on the menu that has vegetables. Everything else is carbs and sugar. It's been really hard for me to maintain my healthy diet here just because everything is mostly carbs and mostly sugar. The fruit juices are so sugary. Even if I tell them not to add sugar, it's still quite sweet. The breakfast buffet would just have like plain rice, pesto pasta, potatoes all right next to each other, and then like, I don't know, that's just the majority of the dishes. It's just really hard to be a pregnant diabetic here. He told me to start the video so he could fart. Okay, so week 19 symptoms. I've lost the ability to burp. I can't seem to burp. There are organs in the way. It goes up to here and then it just stops. It just stays there. So uncomfortable. I feel like my food is also getting harder to digest. I used to be able to eat lying down. I know my mom already tells me not to do that, but now I get it. Maybe that's why she tells me not to do it. She's had this phase in her life where she's unable to digest food while she's lying down. I get it now, Mom. When I lie on my side now, I need to use a pillow because I shouldn't really lie on my back. Otherwise, it's obstructing my vena cava or something, which could lead to higher chance of stillborns. So as I speak, there is a pillow propping up my right butt cheek. Yeah, and then when I lie on my side, I get back pains or leg pains, so I have to keep flipping sides throughout the night. And now it feels like my belly is just big enough to hang there, but not big enough to sag down onto the bed. So it's just like mid hanging. It's like it's doing an iron X, but not really an X. I'm also losing the ability to crack my back sideways. Yeah, we did a prenatal yoga session yesterday in the gym. One that was to prevent diastasis recti.
Recti, yes.
And then another one to open the pelvic floor.
Yes.
And I noticed that the one to open my pelvic floor are already stretches that I normally do. So hopefully my pelvic floor is naturally more open already. The stretches and positions didn't really seem like it was working anything out. We're going home. So we got priority boarding onto a bus, but the bus isn't filled with priority boarding people. We still have to wait for other people to board before the bus goes to the plane. So what's the point of priority boarding if we're not boarding?
Like with the first people to go in to the bus, so we're gonna be the last people to go out and board actually. So
I realize I can't tie jackets around my waist anymore.
sideways a bit more. This way. Yeah.
This flight is looking pretty empty. Look at our It's an empty plane.
And we'll give you weather updates for Singapore once we have received the information.
We are back from Boracay, back in Singapore, and this is one of the dresses that I got there. It is so comfortable. It is so blue. It is gonna fit my belly perfectly for a million months. I can have triplets in this. I can have quintuplets in this. Quintuplets. Okay. This is the bump now. It's not very much because it's morning. This is the other dress that I got for myself. I don't think it's formal enough to wear for Chinese New Year, but who's gonna fault a pregnant woman for wearing what's comfortable? So I also wanted to tell you about some of the vivid dreams I've been having. Apparently it's also a pregnancy symptom to have vivid dreams, and I write them down because they're all kind of traumatic in their own way, and I wanted to share them with you. And maybe I'll continue sharing all the vivid dreams as they come in. So I think for the first time I recorded it, this was week 18. I dreamt that I was getting raped by my husband on a plane, and everyone on the plane was kind of on his side and like cheering him on. Why does my brain come up with these things? I was crying so hard and I couldn't get out of the dream. I think my body was shaking quite vigorously, and then Amit woke me up and I was like, what's going on? Then I had to tell him he was raping me in my dream. A few days later, I dreamt that I gave birth, but I wasn't really present for the birth. I kind of woke up when they told me that I could put the baby on my skin for some skin to skin. And for some reason, the baby looked like Destiny from Love Island Season 5, which is what we've been binging. 2 days after that, my dream wasn't as dramatic. So the context for this dream is that we went down to the breakfast buffet at 9:15 to 9:30 every day, and I always wanted to go to the buffet with Amit, and I wouldn't want to go down alone because I didn't really want to eat alone. So the dream was just about me waking up to go to the breakfast buffet, and Bergie from Love Island season 5 was the one ticking off the names when you go into the buffet, and I was just taking a bunch of food. For some reason, there was another free breakfast thing in the dream that we could have, but we decided to pay for a buffet instead, so I was mad about that. Because why are we wasting money having 2 breakfasts when we could just have the free one? But in real life, the buffet is the free one, or like it's included. So anyway, moving on. I was just trying to frantically get both breakfasts up into the room. Amit was never coming down. It's like he was still sleeping, or he took a shit for too long, or just he wasn't coming down, and I was just getting really paranoid that I had to eat alone. And that was just the dream. It was kind of stressful, but it wasn't as stressful as the other dreams. 2 days after that, my dream was that I was about 20 weeks pregnant, which is just a week from now, and then somebody resembling our SGH doctor tapped on my stomach. Like if my stomach was this, he just tapped on it and then it cracked, and then a cracked egg with a baby came out from my abdomen, and then the doctor told me this baby's not gonna last until 8 a.m. tomorrow. What do you mean? And then I was like, why did you check it like that? Why did you crack the egg? And she was like, that's how I do the routine check. And what? Can you just imagine? First of all, why an egg? Humans don't give birth to eggs. But second of all, can you imagine just going for a routine checkup if this was real life? And just someone tapping your body and your body cracking, and then an egg coming out that is also cracked, and you can see your baby in there, and it's breathing and everything, and then the doctor just tells you it's not going to live. That was really stressful, and I was really upset, and I was trying to go around to find different doctors that could help me fix the egg and put it back in my abdomen and uncrack everything. I think that dream was either symbolic of my trauma from a miscarriage or my trauma from a doctor with no bedside manner. And finally, my dream from last night before I woke up, I was trying to buy a bunch of baby related things, and for some reason someone managed to scam me into buying a $7,000 Michael Kors bag with a $600 discount in vouchers or something, which was still me paying $7,000. And then I regretted it instantly. Why would I spend $7,000 on a bag? And for some reason Amit wasn't stopping me when I was buying it, but right after I asked him, like, do you think it was worth it? And he was like, obviously it wasn't. Why would I spend $7,000 on a bag? And then I was at a dinner with my family and friends, which is very rare. That doesn't happen. I don't usually even have a sit-down dinner with my family of origin, but that was happening. And then I just asked my dad, like, do you have any high-profile clients that would be willing to buy this bag off me? And then he started talking about his business and like how he loves it so much, but given the chance, would he retire now? He would, but he doesn't have that chance because no one else can take over for him. And then he burst out into song like it was part of a musical with his own original lyrics about the same matter. And in my head, I was thinking, I'm not going to interrupt him, but after he's done, I would like to write down those lyrics and help him produce the song, which is ironic because my brain came up with those lyrics, which I don't remember any of. So anyway, I didn't get to sell the bag, and I was really stressed out about trying to get my $7,000 back. I was gonna ask my mom to put it on her carousel because her carousel has more expensive things, and naturally the people that go there would buy more expensive things. I was so stressed out, and then I woke up from my alarm, and I was so happy to wake up from my alarm because I woke up, I saw the real world, and I was like, oh, I didn't spend $7,000 on a stupid bag. As another side story, it's completely unrelated to the bag. I was in a workspace with very nice desk compartments and everything for you to keep your stuff, like wardrobes and everything, and everyone can had one. I had a really nice one, but then they were like, let's swap the boys and the girls. I don't know what boys and what girls, but they swapped it, and then I got the shittiest compartment ever. There were no drawers, and I just couldn't really pack my stuff in there, and I was kind of upset that they just swapped it without asking me because I had a nice one and then I just got a shit one after that. At the same time, our instructor from NP Voices was asking me and Sean to sing some Disney medley for him, just as like a final gig preparation thing. And we were doing it, and then I realized I didn't know a lot of my lyrics. I wasn't really confident. It's like I didn't even memorize the score yet on the performance day, and I was feeling so frantic about it, but I was also trying to solve my compartment situation, and I couldn't find the sheet music to rehearse, and I was feeling like such an unprofessional performer because I don't have that down, and we haven't even worked on dynamics and everything. But it's all a dream. I don't have these problems. I have other problems.
Or 1 degree.
Honestly, the Spectra S1 Plus does 99% on that kind of thing.
Okay.
And so instead of taking your laptop, the Catan is a 3 out of 10 difficulty.
Okay.
The only downside to it is there's not as much friction. So you know when you wear like a sport. Said that it wasn't the newborn cushion, like it's the complete opposite of this one. The newborn cushion is not as amazing. They improved that.
Okay.
And they also fitted ISOFIX arms directly into the car seat itself. This is the Maxi Cozy. So the Maxi Cozy is probably the second most popular. It's the second lightest.
Okay.
And then the third, probably most popular option is the Cybex, and this is the one that can kind of recline into that fully flat mode. So it has very few stroller features. It's twice the weight of these other car seats. So you'll need to pick this up with the baby in it as well. So it's the baby's development that chooses. Okay. So this bed here doesn't elevate in height, and it's designed to be used after you've used a little cradle.
Okay.
Now once the baby can hold a crawling position, you cannot keep them in an elevated height because they could crawl out.
Okay.
So if you wanted to easily move it around the house, you can put those little felt small kids. You mentioned the Cybex Gazelle. Its main competitor is the Upper Baby Vista. Honestly, most people do go for the Vista. The Cybex, like you can feel the wheels. The wheels are made of plastic. It's not quite at the same production level as the Vista. However, it's priced accordingly, so it is cheaper than the Vista.
So today we went for a lot of education. We had a Pramfox tour and a prenatal workshop by
Shona Mama.
Sean Mama or Motherlove. So for the Pramfox tour, there was this lady Elise who brought us through a bunch of baby gear that we would need after we have the baby, like cots, prams, the baby carriers, breast pumps.
Car seat.
I always wanted the Hegan breast pump because everyone was talking about that, so I thought that's gotta be the best one. Barring the price, I thought that was the one to go for. But then she told us that at the beginning when you are learning to breastfeed, the Hegan is quite unuseful. So I didn't even realize there were different pumps for different stages of breastfeeding. But now I know. And she was recommending the Spectra or something.
I think it was just really good to find out like what are the things that we should be looking for in the different components. Like for example, we know that baby carriers come in mesh now, which is better for Singapore's tropical environment. Material is important, ease to put on is important, the way it supports the baby is important. Oh, and size is important, like adjustability of size.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he and I would have to use a different size thing. Yeah, if there's no buckles and all that, then we would both have to get different sizes.
Let's say we're going out with baby, right, and midday we want to swap, we would have to bring 2 different carriers.
And it makes sense to swap, like you wear one and I wear one, then we just move the baby rather than take out the baby and then have to take out the whole carrier and then put the carrier on you and then keep moving the baby between us before putting the baby back on you.
For the car seat, the main features were how quickly or easily it can latch on to the car itself, how well it works with cab drivers, taxis, and the posture and the way it supports the baby as well. So how comfortable it would be for the baby.
It was quite a high-end tour.
She said they only sell tier 1 equipment. Same company owns Toyota and Lexus. Lexus being the luxury brand. So they only sell the Lexus stuff. They don't sell any Toyota stuff. So when she brought up, what was the brand? Joy? What? Joey. Then she was immediately like, oh yeah, we don't sell that here. Because that's the tier 2 car seat.
So it feels like we got a lot of good information from this tour.
Yeah.
But we are more likely to get either second-hand things from Carousel or friends, or second-tier items, because I don't think we can afford luxury brands.
Yeah, and like I honestly just feel it's unnecessary. Like you can save the money and spend it elsewhere, which is more important.
But I really like the effort that Elise put into
Yes.
the questionnaire to get to know us and our preferences before this session. The questionnaire had so many questions, but there were like, in every question there would be a video explaining exactly what she meant.
Yeah.
And then you can have closed caption subtitles. You can increase or decrease the speed of her talking. The only issue is there was no back button. So if I wanted to, if I answered something wrongly, I had to go back to the start.
Yeah.
Which I did like 4 times.
And then gave up, and then eventually made me do it. It was great because she really like suggested things for our lifestyle. And it was great to hands-on try the different strollers to feel what is the difference, and also to like see how easy it is to attach and detach the various car seats.
I also didn't know that there were different strollers, like some catered more for indoor walking and some catered more for outdoor walking. Then in the afternoon we went for the prenatal workshop. There were 4 speakers. Dr. Harvard Lin was talking about
Delivery process and pain management.
Yep, like natural birth specifically.
The vagina has been stretched to allow the baby's head. Baby's head is about 35 to 40 cm sometimes. Going through definitely some soreness, especially when you tan.
Bridget, or Chiu Jin, she was talking about, she's a doula, talking about a positive birth experience.
This one is a surface that can support. So you one hand down, 2 hand down, 1 hand down, 2 hand down. You can also stop here as well and do here. You can push back a little bit so that you don't feel so stretched.
Dre Yo, she's a breast pump consultant, the only one in Singapore apparently, and she was giving very informative things about how to increase your milk supply.
So whatever food that you're going to eat, when is the best time to latch and pump? Basically, if you're talking about solids, that means your meat, your noodles, all this kind of stuff, the best time to start latching pumping is actually about 40 minutes from the time you start your first mouth. First mouth, huh?
I think that was the most informative one for me.
And most in-depth, like she gave a lot of very specific information, which was like actually really helpful.
And the last person was Karen. She was talking about prenatal skincare all over the place, not just like face, stretch marks and everything.
During your pregnancy, if you encounter some pigment come out, right? What product you can use is a vitamin C product. Okay, but do not go for hydroquinone. This product, you can only choose like ascorbic acid.
But yeah, so the breast pump one really spoke to me because that is the one I feel like I know the least about and I care the most about.
Yeah, so she was also promoting her own brand.
Love Amy.
Love Amy.
She's been an ambassador of Spectra for about 5 years or something. She's been breastfeeding for 12 years.
Apparently she's in the news or some shit.
That is insane. She's the first breast pump consultant we've heard because there is only one in Singapore. She sounded very convincing, very knowledgeable about everything. So I'm glad we got to meet her. Now it's between the Spectra and the Love Amy thing that she was talking about, because she mentioned there were different parts of breast milk. There was the fore milk, the high milk. She was saying that most breast pumps around the world, like they are more suited to get the fore milk, which is what your baby usually drinks more of anyway. The breast pump that they developed is also able to take out the high milk, and it uses more of a hand expression technique rather than pinching the nipple, so it's less painful as well.
And it's made for Asian women.
Yes. So all those facts spoke to me. But also it's the first person I'm hearing about talking about this, so I'm not
Exactly.
sure if everything is super credible or if they're just trying to sell the product.
Also, really just solidified that you need to stay hydrated.
And sleep doesn't matter apparently. Sleep doesn't matter for breastfeeding. You can be
But it matters for everything else.
tired out of your wits and still be breastfeeding. Yeah, I like how she described the full milk and high milk. When you first have a letdown, it's like the Milo is stirred and all the ingredients are there together. But as your baby feeds on your breast, then it starts to separate into like full milk and high milk.
The thicker part is at the bottom, the more concentrated area basically.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask, like, is there a way to re-stir the Milo in your breast?
But I think what she mentioned was midway, about 20 minutes into your thing, you should drink a cup of warm water, which helps to take all the stuff as well.
To dilute the Milo.
Restore it. The heat apparently helps basically.
We just went to the Amit's sister's ex-boss's friend's house. And
Her name is
we
Bubba.
got- Yes, Bubba. And we got the car seat, we got a sling.
Carry-on. And a gym.
Oh, it's a thing to hang the gym things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gym frame.
So today I went down a rabbit hole of adding things into my baby registry, googling products and everything, because over this weekend I feel like I've learned a lot of new things and I have a lot more information to go off of to look for things. So I was just doing that for the past few hours, and then I realized that it's 2 a.m. I haven't had dinner. It's time to sleep because it's a work day tomorrow. It's always that tough decision between sleeping or eating when I'm both hungry and tired. I decided to eat a snack and then shower and get to bed. So not the healthiest option today. I've been having trouble looking for products because I'm not sure how economical I want to be. I feel like I'm juggling between thoughts of being economical and not looking like too much of a cheapskate to my in-laws, even though I know that they will probably support me in any decision we make. But like if we get a second-hand stroller from Carousel, and there are so many, I don't want them to feel like it's because we can't afford a first-hand stroller. It's really more like we don't feel like a first-hand stroller is the thing we want to spend money on. I need to work on getting that across to them so that I can stop juggling with whether to get a slightly more expensive version of something or whether to get something second-hand. I feel like this activity of researching for things for the baby comes very naturally to me, and I usually have to wait for Amit to be ready or have the time to look at these things with me. I would have to tell him like, when do you have the time to look through the baby registry with me so we can pick out some other things together, instead of him being like, let's go through the baby registry. And I think it comes from generations and generations of sexism where the man doesn't really have to deal with all these things. So it doesn't really come naturally to them to think about what to do in situations like these. And it always ends up with the woman initiating. Well, most of the time, I guess, if you have a husband or a partner that initiates these things, then I'm very happy for you. But my husband in this aspect is a usual guy, and he doesn't really think about these things unless I tell him about it. He's already doing a lot in terms of taking care of me during the pregnancy and all that. I feel like he's already doing a lot more than what I would think an average husband or partner is doing. But I don't know, because everybody's relationship is different, right? And while I feel like I would like him to have more initiative to do these things or to think of these things, I don't think that's something that I can make happen unless he wants it to happen. And in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's the most important thing to focus on. If I can just tell him what things I would like him to focus on and he listens. Because it's not like he's not listening or he's refusing to do all these things or anything. It's just doesn't come naturally to him. So it's a bit of a bummer, but this was just something I wanted to voice out to future me who's going to watch this video as well. Maybe Amit will be more proactive in the next pregnancy or something, or when he grows older and some of his friends go through this, he will be able to take more initiative. But then again, it's like, My friends are not really going through this, and it's also my first time doing this. So why do I have this thing in my mind that helps me think of doing all these things before I'm asked to? Is it really just cause I'm a woman? Is that evolution? Is it the hormones that come with being pregnant? Is it all the other women in my life who give me tips just because I'm a woman? Like they give me tips, but they don't give him tips just because the women are more likely to think about these things and to keep them in memory, or to think about it later and bring it up later or something. Why is the world so unfair? And this is one of the reasons that we want the baby shower to have both genders present, not just the women. Because the men need to know. They need to think about these things. It will make the pregnant person's life a lot easier if their partner could be proactive about these things. And once again, I'm really not blaming Amit or anyone who doesn't naturally think of these things. That's just my 2 cents. That's just my 20 cents. So the mummy fair happened during the Babymoon, and it was a bit of a bummer to miss that because I was really looking forward to getting some info. I saw women talking about it on the WhatsApp groups. Apparently it was really crowded, which scares me because is it gonna be this crowded every single mummy's fair? But I'll have to do it once, I guess. I know it's not compulsory, but I want to see what deals they have. I want to get free stuff. I want the goodie bag. I will queue for the goodie bag. I'm that person. I'm that auntie. And another thing on the Babymoon was that the baby was kicking almost every day, and I kept trying to get Amit to feel it. I would make sure that I could feel it with my own hand first, which now come to think of it may not be accurate because I'm also feeling it from the inside. But anyway, I will try and feel it from my hand, and then if I can feel that, I put Amit's hand on my abdomen where I felt the kick, and then I whip out the camera and I hope to get his reaction. But so far, no reaction. He can't feel it yet. He hasn't felt one of the bigger kicks. I think usually when I put his hand there, it's a smaller kick. I really just want to have that video so I can watch it in the future and remember the reaction of Amit when he felt a kick for the first time, because I couldn't get my own reaction, not really. But it would be nice to have Amit's reaction embedded digitally for the rest of our lives. On Friday, I did an interview with Amanda Yup from Today, who found me on Lemonade from my IVF post. Did an interview with me on the IVF process, how I feel about it, how it can be improved. I feel like we need more awareness for infertility in Singapore, especially the part where males are equally responsible for fertility as females. It's really not just on the woman. It takes 2 hands to make a baby. So last night my dream was about my blood sugar. I've been taking my blood sugar 7 times in one day, once a week, just to monitor if the levels are going up or down with roughly the same food I eat. Because if it gets too bad, then I have to take insulin just to make sure that this doesn't get worse and the baby doesn't get too huge, to prevent me from doing a C-section. And last night my dream was that I missed the day that I wanted to take my blood sugar, and then they sent someone from the hospital to come down and give me the blood test instead. So usually if I do it myself, it's just a tiny prick on my finger, but they came down with the equipment and everything to do the blood test here, and they were like, we need to monitor you because your sugars have gotten way too high, and we just wanted to double check if you're taking care of yourself or not. So that freaked me out. Not just because the big equipment came in, but it was also like, how much is this gonna cost? But yeah, that was my dream. I'm kind of sad about this, but I think I have to retire these pants because they're getting a little too tight and uncomfortable. It was a size L. Welcome to the unboxing of the things I haven't unboxed. The hospital tour stuff, the Thomson medical thingy, and Shon Mama goodie bag that we got from the prenatal class. I was just gonna do this alone, but I guess Amit wants to join in. This is the Mount Alvernia one. that I put in the Thomson bag. No freebies, it's just like Sing Life accident plan things, costs of the things and things, just paper.
Things,
Boring.
things.
The Thomson medical one has more paper.
Nice.
A lot of brochures. Let me just take out the interesting stuff. Okay, this is Racket.
Whoa, okay.
Alpha Mama milk powder, I guess.
Yeah.
And another, same thing. And then creams in French. There's this It's a file folder thing, which looks like a photo album. I guess to put ultrasounds and things. The rest are papers. Moving on.
Short means beautiful.
We have breast milk storage bags. I don't know what's the difference in all the different kinds of breast milk storage bags. I assume they're all BPA free and they're all food grade and they can all go in the freezer or the microwave.
Oh shit, hers has some nozzle at the bottom which like looks handy. Because then like the baby can just suck it from there or something.
I don't think the baby suck it from the milk storage bag. You put it in the bottle, you warm it up.
Yeah, yes, but
Premium diapers. Very nice big bag, size S. And is it reusable? Because if it comes in a packaging like this, it looks pretty freaking reusable. Here we have baby swipe. Concentrate liquid laundry for baby clothing. That's so cute! Pigeon breastfeeding things. And then there's more breast pads. Freebies!
yoi.
I decided to unbox the Pampers. I got the sticker out very nicely. So let's see. Ooh. It's 3 diapers in a nice color. Probably not for newborns. It looks really expensive with the branding and everything. It smells nice. Okay, so it's been a busy weekend since we got back from the Babymoon, but now we can talk about our thoughts.
I think it was a fantastic idea. It's very relaxing. Really serves its purpose. I think it was a great bonding session for us too.
You mean the season 5 of Love Island?
Exactly.
We got a lot of massages and they didn't charge any extra because I'm pregnant or for a specific prenatal massage. They just told me to lie on my sides and they will use less pressure. So it makes me feel like Singapore's a bit nonsense for overpricing prenatal massages. And maybe they might have an actual special technique that they're not doing in Boracay, but I'm not willing to pay for that.
Yeah, but the Boracay massages were great for me. I mean, I think the technique was really good. It was super value for money.
But I can't keep flying overseas just to get cheap massages, so Amit will do it.
To be clear, that means that I will be the one doing the massages, not I'll be the one going overseas to get cheap massages. Food was not fantastic. She fell sick in between. Got a little food poisoning, puked all over the bathroom floor. And I'm so glad that the seasickness didn't kick in for her, because that was something we were afraid about.
He really likes window seats. And he didn't see why an aisle seat was a perk.
Yeah.
So we just kept getting window seats and the middle seat. And I was like, why? Use the pregnant card. Just get the aisle seat. It was very nice to skip all the lines and go to the priority queues. And then get bitched about by a lady who just didn't think I was fat enough to be pregnant to sit on the
Priority seats.
senior only seats. Today we're going for a sound bath free trial at Key Yoga. And I don't know how I'm gonna do it because they usually lie down for the whole class and I can't really lie on my back. So I don't know if they're gonna elevate me or just ask me to sit down.
Maybe we should bring some stuff to elevate you.
We went for a sound bath class. There was actual exercising, it wasn't just a sound bath. I would have worn a proper bra if I knew. But it was nice and relaxing. I like this combination. I wish the sound bath could be louder, but the instructor also said that she doesn't recommend pregnant women to go for sound baths. Then I googled it and they said maybe just not in the first trimester, so I think we're fine.
The sound bath was really nice. First, it was like super relaxing. And actually the stretching at the beginning really helped me to unwind at the end, I think. Like, it was like my body was cracking and everything, and the stretching was really releasing a lot of my tension in my body. So I think overall it was a really good session. But yeah, I would have loved the sound bath to be even longer.
O, right?
Oh,
so
that's
it
how
can
breast
be
is in
AO, BO, which is A, B.
Can also
right?
be A. Can be AB.
Cannot.
It's either A or B.
I'm oh.
It's,
you're
either,
O.
it's either A or B. Unless your AB is the A, B, then got a bit R one, you know, is the got one, the who do bio one?
Me? But what are you saying?
I don't know.
I mean it's AB. I'm O.
One massive donor, one massive receiver.
But ooh!
But
Okay,
Amit is the one who
We
can
know
do it.
who's the giver in this.
It's a girl A.
Hey, you got
It's a boy, AB.
You got respond to Lawrence Wong though.
Hello,
Lawrence
wait,
Wong
cannot
got
be
respond to
AB.
this,
Oh,
right?
sorry, it's a
Important,
boy.
right?
She pregnant.
Is it possible to be B? It's either A or B.
Hey, Ong Kar looking for
Okay,
Omar.
boy B. B for boy.
Girl, I must see the reaction. Boy, nah. B, A.
I don't see blood type.
Oh.
See horoscope.
Oh my god,
Go.
Proposal to half the bet now.
Okay,
Like 20?
fine.
20?
20,
It's
okay.
not half.
But then, Brian, what are you betting?
If I go, it's all in.
We're currently waiting for the week 20 scan. Everything's fine so far. Nothing to worry about. Bavens is 16.22 cm from crumb to rump. No. We have tried 2 times for the high risk scan, but we can't get the heartbeat because Bavens is sleeping.
Yeah, Bavens has my genes, so
I've turned around left and right, I've jumped and everything. We even went to have food in between and we were told to come back 45 minutes later.
Yep. Don't want to wake up.
Still the same position.
Where are you going?
Milo. The 60-cent Milo I've been waiting 4 to 5 weeks for.
Music or music? Yeah, confirm wake up already.
We just did the week 20 scan and then another extra scan. Then we had a consult with the stork center. Then I had the vaccination for whooping cough. Then we went to collect our medicine and that took like 5 hours.
We reached it at 9 AM. It is now
1:38.
everything's so cold.
It took so long because Babens wasn't moving. Babens was sleeping. It was the same nurse that did the extra scan. The last time we came, Babens also wasn't moving. No matter how much I turned. And for the diabetes appointment at the stock center, they said my blood sugar is getting a bit worrying, and if I'm really doing my best, then it's time to start me on insulin. But if I'm not doing my best yet, then I'll do my best. So I will do my best. Going to Boracay is not my best. I mean, we did the best in Boracay, but we can do better in Singapore. No more crackers with my cheese. No more creamy croissants. There was $15 in parking.
And $8 in ERP on the way here in the morning.
Since the doctors told me to curb my sugar even more, I'm gonna have cheese without crackers. Thanks, Fern and Philippa, for the stuff. I'm just gonna sleep well on the plane. So here's a pregnancy pillow, an exercise ball, some colostrum connectors, raspberry leaf tea, which is supposed to help with dilating the cervix, and to be taken past week 36, and some maternity clothing. Woohoo! Last night I tried this pregnancy pillow for the first time and it is great, except for the fact that it's hard to get my hand out to turn to the other side, but apart from that it's great. And I'm still lying in it now because I don't know what I ate, but it feels like I got food poisoning again. 2 times in the same month and 3 times in this pregnancy. I'm done, man. I forgot to take my diclectin by accident last night, and there was completely 0 nausea today. So I guess I'm off diclectin. I hope. Tomorrow's also a good day to test it out for day 2 of no diclectin. So I shall do that, and if I don't need it, then it's one less pill to take every day. Although they did add calcium and vitamin D for me in the morning, which I happily just went to buy, and then I realized that was one of the prenatals I bought from Watson's before they prescribed me any. I don't think you'll particularly want to hear about my intimate life, and I feel like it's a bit too much information to share as well, but I think it's important to talk about it. I've been feeling a lot more sensitive when we get intimate, I guess, because there are a lot more blood vessels, and one of the symptoms is feeling more sensitivity in the area, and I think a lot of women enjoy that, but for me it gets to be a little too much. So I've been trying to feel like doing it because I don't want my partner to be sexually frustrated, and I tried to initiate again tonight, and it didn't really happen because it was too sensitive again, and I felt really disappointed in myself for wanting to try something and then not actually going through with it. And I know that is completely unreasonable. I shouldn't feel that way. Amit also is very completely reasonable and level-headed about it. Even though it is definitely a bit disappointing that we can't do the full thing, he's been super nice about it. He's also trying to comfort me for being disappointed in myself because he knows that I shouldn't have to feel this way. He's happy for me to continue initiating whenever I feel comfortable with it, and he's okay if I withdraw consent at any time as well, because he just wants me to feel comfortable, and he knows it's not my fault that I don't feel like doing it. And I think it is important to talk about good examples of men like that, because what I hear in the movies and on TV or on Facebook groups and forums is not my experience with my own husband. I think majority of the things I read show that men are always pushy about these kind of things, and Amit has been an absolute angel about it. Even if it leaves him sexually frustrated, he is never pressuring me to do anything. He's always willing to immediately stop if I withdraw consent, and I feel very lucky to have him as a partner. And even though I feel like it shouldn't be a luck thing, I feel like more men should understand this and be this way as well. But in society right now, I feel lucky to have someone who doesn't conform to what I see on TV and everything about this topic. For any of the men out here watching this video, I hope that when you're in this situation with your partner, you don't pressure her and you listen when she doesn't feel like doing it anymore. It will make her feel so much better if you're not pressuring her about any of this. Okay, so I had insomnia again last night. Then I woke up really early because I had a nightmare and I didn't want to go back to that nightmare, so I didn't try to sleep again as well. I dreamt that I killed someone, and I was just lying in some children's bedroom that felt like your child bedroom when you go back to your parents' house kind of thing. And my dad was there, and I was trying to hide the fact that I killed someone from him. And then there was this parrot that had blood all over it and was trying to tell on me. It felt like Zazu was just trying to tell everybody, hey, I might have killed somebody. But for some reason, nobody was looking at him at the right time. And I was just pretending to be really sleepy and sleeping on the bed. And for some reason, I was also hosting Akamit in a few days. My dad was asking me, are you okay if someone does their gender reveal at Akamit? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I felt so terrible that I couldn't enjoy hosting this event because of the guilt I had for killing somebody. But then I remember the day before in the dream, I was sending a criminal to jail. That criminal was handcuffed, and I was just holding her like this and bringing her around. And because she was just handcuffed in her hand, her fingers were still free, she was trying to tickle me, and that was really exhausting. And then in the middle of that, somehow there was a top half of somebody's head. Someone was beheaded, and then the head was just there, and I assumed that the criminal did it. But for some reason, in the present day in the dream, I was blamed for that beheading, and therefore it felt like I killed someone. What is up with these dreams? So my dream last night was that I was breastfeeding, and it was really easy to breastfeed. I just put the baby there, and they immediately latched. And it was just, the milk supply was coming out so easily. And then I did that a few times, and then my boob turned into you know when you squeeze the water bottle when there's no air inside, and it's really twisted and compressed. That's what my boob looked like. Then I remembered, oh, I should do it on the other boob. So I tried to make my other boob twisty and weird. yeah, that's about it. I also didn't take diclactin for the past 2 days. For the first day I didn't take it, I forgot, and the day went fine, so I thought maybe I can stop taking diclactin and I just tried another day. But similar to what happened before when I tried not taking it on the second day consciously, I don't know if it's a placebo thing or not, but the second day felt terrible, and we were having Amit's early birthday dinner with his family, and I felt absolutely horrible, and I don't know why I risked not taking diclactin on such a day. I started feeling bad when we took the car out to lunch. That journey in the car just made me car sick, and then for the rest of the day the nausea wasn't really going away. It just got worse, and because it was also a extremely hot day, the sweating didn't help. During dinner I was sweating so much. We moved into the inside where there was air conditioning. I felt a bit better, but it still felt like it took so much in me to get through the meal, to put food in my mouth, to chew, to swallow. The restaurant was giving us free dessert because of a birthday celebration, and the dessert was taking so long to come. I was in so much pain. Yeah, Amit knew that, so he was also empathizing, but I didn't want to ruin his day. So I was trying my best to get through it and not to eat unhealthily for dinner because there were a lot of carb things. It really reminded me of the first trimester nausea and when I wanted an abortion, so that's how bad it got yesterday. But I think I should stop trying to get off diclactin and just eat the freaking medication. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Maybe it's because I took a double dose of diclactin last night, but I've been super exhausted. I keep wanting to go back to sleep, and it's exhausting being exhausted. I just want to get work done. I have so much work to do. I'm a little too tired to make or get a proper dinner right now, so I've settled for edamame. Made some chicken franks in the toaster, and I've made myself a cup of glucerina, so I hope that doesn't spike my sugar too much, because this is a day I really need a meal replacement. I talked to another financial agent to get this freebie today. It is a pillow. I think he said bean sprout something pillow. This morning I was on my way to work and I was walking up to a priority seat on the train, and then this old guy trying to fight me for it. He was brisk walking towards it so that he could reach it faster than me, and I was like, fine, just have it. I didn't feel pregnant enough. I think that's true because no one else offered me a seat as well, and I was too shy to ask. If you would just look at my belly, I don't know, it doesn't look pregnant enough. And in the evening I tried to muster up some courage to ask a guy for a seat. I felt bad after I did that. I was walking towards empty seats, but then another young guy got it before me. But since it was a young guy, I decided to ask if I could have the seat. And just saying the words "I'm pregnant" feels so weird because I feel like it shouldn't have to be said. People should just see it and then give you the seat, and if they can't see it, then maybe you don't need it enough. I know obviously it's not that I don't need it enough, it's just I have to ask if I'm not big enough. It's so uncomfortable for me to do that. I felt so bad after that because he just sat down and then I asked him for the seat. So I don't know whether to stand up and feel tired or to sit down and feel bad next time. I've been having a tough week with my diet control. Maybe it's just a tough week, maybe other weeks will be better. I feel so restricted in my diet now more than ever. I know I've already been doing this for 5 months, but I'm just really scared to go on insulin. But today was the worst. I ordered stuffed. I usually get a chicken daily bowl since I can't eat smoked salmon now, and I only get vegetables or protein as my ingredients. I don't get the carb stuff. And when they ask me for sauce, I usually say no now because that sauce spikes my sugar and it doesn't come down fast enough. Can you imagine how boring my salad is? So today I just got the mayo cucumber because I just really wanted a little bit of something to cheer me up. It wasn't a good day. And I felt so guilty having the mayo cucumber. I just know that my levels are not gonna be good because I had the mayo cucumber. And it's not even something sweet like the calories I would want to have. The decisions I had to make today to not have sugar were excruciating. It's really making me consider just doing the insulin so I don't have to stress out about my diet. I feel like the stress I'm getting from thinking about my diet every day is more detrimental than the cost of insulin. So I really want to find out how much the the insulin is gonna cost, so that maybe if it's too expensive, I have another piece of motivation to keep me going with my sad ass diet.
Pregnancy, of course, but my suggestion is definitely start early and lift it out of that bottom arm. So I'm not here, right? I'm not collapsed into that arm. I put it up high. If you wanted to make it harder, you could scissor your feet and go like this.
Today I did up my birth plan. I had Philippa's birth plan to follow a little bit so that I could see what I missed out on, and I also added some of my own things. I really love the stickers, and let me try to link it in the description below so you can find it as well. I've also been collating my assets in a document to write a will. We're meeting Joyce, our financial advisor, to check out how to write a will and how we can pass all our things to Babymoons. It's so many new things we're embarking on. It's interesting. I like that it's something that I don't really do on a regular basis, but at the same time it's a bit tedious to get all these things in order, even though it's a good thing that we're getting it in order, you know. Babymoons has still been kicking every single day, so that's a good sign. Amit still hasn't felt it yet, but since it's his birthday today, I hope that Babymoons kicks later, right before we sleep. That'll be such a nice thing for his birthday. There's been this chocolate with the flavors cappuccino, amaretto, and something. Amaretto sour used to be my favorite cocktail. I always thought the amaretto was just a sweet ingredient. I didn't know it was the alcohol. I've been eating these amaretto chocolates without knowing this.
Huh?
What?
They're alcoholic.
They are.
Alcohol, eh? Drunkard.
That's what it looks like.
Alcoholic.
Today over reunion dinner, we also got some baby gear. This is a park-long playmat from Xander and Rachel. And then we have a bag of goodies here. I have finished drawing on all the ang paos. Some are better than others. None are really that good. I don't really know how to draw dragons, but I tried 8 different ways to draw dragons. So the Lunar New Year is upon us. It is the year of the dragon, the year our baby will be born in. Not that the zodiac means much to me, except for how competitive the year is gonna be. Today was day 1 of the Lunar New Year, and we went visiting not too many houses. I got a lot of advice from aunties about pregnancy and post-pregnancy and child raising tips and advice. Amit and I also handmade some ang paos, and then I drew on them, and most of the comments were like, wow, you have so much time to make your own ang paos. When the baby is here, I don't think you'll have time to make ang paos yourself next year. Not that I was planning to, but now that sounds like a challenge, and maybe I will. I'll leave you here with a summary of what has been done and what we're still looking to do. So I have done the birth plan this month. We have finalized the baby registry for the baby shower. We have collected a lot more secondhand items so that we don't have to buy new ones, especially things that the baby is not going to use for that long. We went on our Babymoon. We haven't really looked much into cord blood banking. We are probably gonna pick Thomson Medical Center to deliver in, and we also want Dr. Han Hao Chuan, and we'll probably meet him in the next month. We've also decided to get Lorraine as our doula. We decided to go for some of the more extravagant options, like going to a private hospital, private doctor, and also getting the doula. These are all things that we picked because we wanted to have a really good first experience, and we're excited about it. The week 20 detailed scan, everything was fine. Very happy about it. Not too happy about my blood sugar. So my blood sugar is something I still have to control very strictly. It's getting really hard to stick to this restrictive diet. I'm still considering whether to start on insulin or not, and I'll make the choice when it's time for the next appointment next month. I hope that life in this aspect gets better and I don't actually decide to go on insulin, and I can control my diet without losing my mind. This is the end of month 5. See you in month 6.